Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 channel. You can catch us on YouTube right now. As always, I am with my partner, my main man, Mr. LL himself, Larry Loper, and we are coming to you from Northern Delaware on this August the 19th, 2025. Our show today, it's real simple. Football is in the air. The 2025 season is almost upon us. We are just under 3 weeks away. As a matter of fact, the Bears game will be 3 weeks from yesterday. So I'm feeling it. I know you all are feeling it. As usual, our show will have tiers. We'll be talking about players, coaches, on the hot seat, spotlight. We're going to be doing more fantasy this year. As a matter of fact, we're going to do some fantasy on today's show. So I'm going to give you a 7-step rule, my own personal rule when setting up for fantasy football. We'll do that in the second half of today's episode of the podcast. Larry, how you doing? And are you ready to get this party started?
Well, I'm great, man. I can't wait. It's our time now. It's football's here. This is the best time of the year. So I'm looking forward to this show. Oh man, I'm ready to jump right into it, my brother. I'm ready to jump right into it, brother.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Last season we did our tiers. We're going to do that again this year, but this first initial set of tiers, there's going to be more teams on it. And obviously, as the season goes, it's going to dwindle. We're going to find out who the contenders are and the pretenders and the wannabes and the could-bees and the shoulda-bees, but aren't. We're going to have all that throughout the season. But right now, you know it, just before the season starts, everybody thinks could be our year. So the season starts 0-0 for everybody. There's one more preseason game left. We can talk a little preseason during the show. Bears have looked pretty good so far. They looked really good on Sunday. You can explain with your team. Plus, your team has a documentary series on Netflix that started today, which I believe is called America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys. So I'll probably check that out after our show is done. Let's get a crack-a-lackin'. So,
okay.
I've got a lot of teams in my tiers. I have almost everybody in the NFL. So I have it Super Bowl contenders.
Okay.
That's highest level. Then playoff bound. Then surprise. What is it? Surprise overachiever. Then surprise underachiever. And then teams that are just bad. And we did that last year. 3 teams that we think will be in the running for the number 1 pick. And it's usually the same 3 teams that are in the top 5, top 10. So, all right. My top tier, Super Bowl contenders. I have 3 from the AFC, 3 from the NFC. My AFC teams, and I believe that this is the team this year right now, 3 weeks out from the season. I have the Baltimore Ravens as my number 1. I have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I have the Buffalo Bills. Those are my AFC teams. Are you in agreement with those 3 teams? AFC, is there a 4th that should be a contender if I were to put 4 in?
Now I'm in total agreement with the teams you picked. Yeah, that was my picks. Yep, Baltimore, Buffalo, and did you say Kansas City?
Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo.
That's only 3 I have.
Is that the order? Is that the same order?
Yeah. I got Baltimore as my favorite. There's no reason why Baltimore should not make it. This is going to be the year. It has to be the year because now we're going to have to get to our next segment. We talk about coaches on the hot seat, or you got to change culture because Lamar Jackson has all the facilities for him to win. You have running backs. You have the offensive lines you report into. You have another weapon with D-Hop. Even though he's older, he's still reliable. You have a vamped up defense. They committed to the secondary. There's no reason why Baltimore can't go. Like, they really have the team. Buffalo, as long as you got Josh Allen, they reinvented. They went younger with the defense, so they should be more explosive on that side of the ball. We already know what the offense is going to do. Cook got his money, so now you have stability with your offense. And in Kansas City, they invest into their O line. They have some players that are not going to be available due to off field issues, but they get fully charged up. They're going to make a run. So, yes, those three right there are the Super Bowl contenders.
Okay, my team's on the NFC is Philadelphia, who is the reigning defending champion, and I still think on paper they look good.
Yeah.
The LA Rams, although I have concerns with their quarterback right now, and I have the Minnesota Vikings. I think they are ready. The quarterback doesn't have to be great; he just can't be bad.
Yes, sir.
He can come along for the ride and just not screw it up. When the Bears went to the Super Bowl during that 2006-2007 season, they had Rex Grossman as their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to say, oh, even Rex Grossman can lead you to a Super Bowl. He didn't lead anybody. He was just on the bus. He wasn't driving the bus. Okay, that team was defense and special teams. That was Devin Hester's rookie year. Yes. All Rex Grossman had to do was his part. Don't lose it for him. Don't screw it up. And for the most part, he did that, and they went to the Super Bowl. And if it didn't rain during that Super Bowl and his hands were a little bigger, maybe the outcome would have been different. But it is what it is. I digress. I'm using that as reference for the Minnesota Vikings. With J.J. McCarthy there, it'd be hard for him to replicate or duplicate what Sam Darnold did last year. So I'm not going to make that the standard. I think ultimately he will be better, at least in Minnesota's system. Mm-hmm. But I think he will be good enough that they're not going to say this team is ready if only they had an upgrade at quarterback. Got to remember, I think a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say this is essentially his rookie year. It's really not. It's really not. Last year was his rookie year. Yes, he got hurt during preseason, so he didn't play during the year. But there's a buildup in learning the NFL speed, the regiment, the workout facility, your schedule, the pace of play, the playbook, the coaching. He's been through that already. Now he just has to play. Now he's had a full off season where he didn't have to think about for half a year, I got to get myself drafted into the first round. Who's going to draft me? That's all behind him. Now he just had to get his body right, learn the playbook without any kind of rush. And he's got no pressure with a quarterback right behind him. They're saying, we're giving you the keys to the throne here. So just go out there and do your part. Don't be a savior. Just do your part. Do your job. And that's it. And they are loaded. So Philadelphia, Rams, Minnesota, those are my NFC teams. There's another team that I think can challenge for a fourth, but I got them in another category right below them. What are you thinking? Are those your three teams, or do you have it different?
I only had two from the NFC, honestly. I had the Rams, and I had the Eagles first. Obviously, I think the Eagles are loaded. They didn't lose. They lost, but then they gained too. So, yes, they lost the edge, but I believe that's for them in their system, somebody will step up. And then offensive lineman, Dickerson got injured during the preseason training camp, but he's coming back. You got one of the best offensive lines in the game. The only question mark I have is just that the transfer to offensive coordinator. That is always, you lose production. That's why one of the teams that we're going to talk about, I didn't pick as a Super Bowl contender because I have question marks when it comes to the coaching staff. I think me and you discussed this. It's not if the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, if it was just that easy to be replaced for productivity, right? Why would these dudes why would these dudes be so valuable and so coveted? Exactly. So you have to be proven. That system, it takes time to build systems. It takes time for the players to get acclimated to new verbiage and stuff like that. It's not just easy to come in there. We've seen this before. So that's my only question, though. But as far as personnel and everything, I think Eagles are definitely prime. And you still got Vic Fangio. So defensively, you still got continuity. It's just the offensive, and you still got your head coach. Um, I got the Rams, like you say. Only question mark is Matt Stafford, being that he is an older quarterback. He already has back issues. But if they could keep him upright with the pieces they have, and they have a young, fast defense, woo, woo. They got a stud running back. They got better production at the receiver spots. Yeah. And they were the only team last year to challenge Philly. And we seen what Philly did. They ran the course, right? So I believe if they could stay up, like I said, Matt Stafford could stay upright with the pieces, head coaching advantage. Um, the defense, once again, is going to be lights out. Um, I got the Rams. I got the Rams. Those are the two teams that I could see as legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And I would put Minnesota in there. It's just the quarterback. You know what I mean? It's a lot to throw on your plate. And I understand that you digested the playbook, you had the time to get the speed and everything, but the defensive coverages and things that they're going to disguise and throw at you, you have not seen yet. You have not seen yet. But Minnesota is definitely up. We'll talk about it, brother. We'll talk. Only got two though.
Well, what I like about the Rams, and I agree with everything you said. I like the fact that they swapped out Cooper Kupp, who's now with Seattle, and brought in Devontae Adams. Right now, that's an upgrade. That's an
total upgrade.
Yes.
Man, we're going to see if Cooper Kupp still got some in the tank, but you're right. Devontae Adams with a prime quarterback. Prime quarterback. I know he went with Aaron Rodgers and that didn't quite work out, but I think he still clipped 1,000 yards. You know what I mean? So you got Matt Stafford, which you got Puka on one side, you got Devontae. Pick your poison, man. It's a nightmare for a corner on both sides because he's still a great route runner, one of the best route runners of the game. Okay.
Yes.
And he has a chip on his shoulder to prove that I am still that guy, which we know he is.
Yeah.
So that's just too much to throw at you, bro. I'm sorry. I would not want to be on the other side of that. It's a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. You know what I mean? Two stud receivers. Oh my goodness, man. Let's talk about it.
That's a lot. All right, cool. All right. Now the next tier I have as playoff bound. These are teams that will either win their division or they will clearly get like a wild card, but they are expected to make the playoffs, maybe even make a run. They're just below the Super Bowl contenders, but they are supposed to have a very good season. I'm talking 10 wins and up. AFC, I got Denver, the Broncos. I got the Texans, and I have the LA Chargers. Now, the Chargers, I would have felt really good about this pick 2 weeks ago before they took a real big hit on their offensive line. Their best offensive lineman is done for the season, Slater, right after a week and a half after he signs that big record-setting deal. But they're still really good. Offensive weapons, they picked up Omarion Hampton. They did lose Dobbs. He went to Denver.
Yeah.
Well, Denver's one of my teams. So I got Denver, Texans. I do have a little bit of concern with the Texans, with the offensive line. They lost a bunch of guys, brought in a bunch of guys. So we'll see if there's continuity there. I thought CJ Stroud, even though he still had a pretty good season last year, all in all, not quite as good as his rookie year. Maybe a lot of that had to do with injuries to his offensive line, losing Tank Dell. Nico Collins missed like 6 weeks and stuff like that last year. And they no longer have homeboy that's in New England now. Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Yep.
So we'll see. But I still think they're good. And I'd be surprised if they don't make the playoffs, even possibly win that division, because it's not a very strong division. So Denver, Texans, Chargers, how do you see it in the AFC?
I have Denver. I totally agree. They're ready to go. Texans. And that's only two teams, honestly, that I seen.
Mm,
Denver and Texans. Um, it's crazy. I got more NFC teams in this division. I got AFC teams, and
okay.
I tell you why. Denver, I believe, honestly, they're on the cusp of Super Bowl contender. Honestly, um, they have a defense on paper that's going to be lights out. They should be definitely top five defense.
Hmm.
Okay. Sean Payton, we know what he does offensively as a play caller. And Bo Nix is comfortable in that system. That's his quarterback. So now you just got more weapons you gave him. You got Evan Ingram that came over, like you just mentioned, J.K. Dobbins. So they're going to balance. I see balance.
Hmm.
You're not asking your quarterback to do too much. You're just telling them to play within the system. Okay. And you have a defense that don't matter how bad we get, our defense can bail us out. So them two elements right there is to me definitely playoff contend with the Chiefs for that division. I'm not just giving it to Kansas City this year. Denver
I'm
could
not either.
honestly win that division.
I'm
Now,
not either. That's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a tight
yeah,
one. You gotta remember they almost beat Kansas City. They got a field goal blocked
yes,
for
he did.
for the game. I mean,
Oh
yeah,
my
it
God.
did seem like Kansas City had a horseshoe stuck up their rear end because they won a few games. That was like, you got to be kidding. How they won a few games is how the Bears lost a few games. Like
Right.
this is this is nuts. But
That's
yeah, so you're not and the Chargers are in the same division
they
as
are.
as
They are.
Denver, Kansas
They
City.
are. The O line and I'm not doubting Harbaugh and I'm not doubting him as a coach at all. But like you said, Slater is hard. It's hard to get over that production on the O line because O line man is all you say, well, we could plug and play, but it's also I gotta trust the guy to the left and to the right of me. I
Mhm.
gotta make sure that if you're the weak side and I know you're the weak side, then I'm going to exploit you, right? And then I got to question the receivers. I know that they went and got Trey Harris in the draft, and I know they went Lad McConkey, right?
Honky,
Lad Conkley is a stud, so I'm not worried about him.
Lad McConkey.
McConkey. I'm sorry,
There
I
you go. You
apologize
got
for messing up the name, but
you got
Lad number 15.
right. And they
Yeah,
also brought back Keenan Allen.
they did, but
Third down, he's still good.
yeah,
He's still good
yeah, yeah. Does he?
He was
Um,
on the Bears last year. That's where
I
he
know.
got his bread buttered, was on third down.
And then him and Westcott do have a relationship. Uh,
Herbert.
Yeah, him and Herbert got a relationship. Um,
Yeah, I think they're good. I'd be surprised if they don't make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to do anything there, but I think as a wild card, I don't think they are going to contend for the division, but I
mhm.
think they're going to be a double figure win team. You win 10 games, you should make the playoffs.
You know
Just
what I got. For my third team, I got in here honestly, and it's gonna be crazy because it's unbalanced. But I got Bengals. I think the Bengals will make the playoffs. I got the Bengals. Defensively, I know they're trash. They're going to give up 30 plus easily. But that offense is so explosive that they're going to pit up a lot of points. Like they committed to the offensive side, which I don't understand. They didn't commit to the defensive side when
and they're
obviously,
still not. Their best
yeah,
defensive player,
uh,
is having a
it-
holdout or a hold
right.
in, whatever it is.
Even with him there, you're still not a good defense. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that he's a good. He's just you got one guy that can bring pressure, right? But you're going to get pilled on the secondary. We know this. Might get pilled on the run game. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow to get it done. Okay. But I still think that if they could start off fast, if they could get going and not have the normal Bengals start,
Mhm.
then yeah, they're going to win some games, man. They're going to win some games. And they could possibly make the playoffs. So I
They
got
g-
the Bengals.
they got to make sure that they don't start those first four games 1-3.
Yeah, they can't. They can't.
Can't do it because they were playing catch up the whole year, and they
Yes.
came up just short. They came up one game short last
And
year.
yeah, and I think with Burrow, Um, that window, and then the coaching. So I know we've got to get to that, but I'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
But yeah, I got the Bengals. Sneaky, crazy pick, but I got the Bengals.
Okay. Well, so that's your. So you got four teams, or you got
Three.
Denver
That was three.
and
It was
Bengals?
Denver. It was Denver Bengals, and it was the Texas.
Okay.
Texans.
So
And,
what do you
and the
think?
Texans. I'm
What do you
sorry.
think? NFC, because for
And
me, NFC, I have San Francisco because they're
yeah,
going to have an easy schedule.
they are.
I don't think they're as good as they've been in years past, but if they don't get hammered with injuries and if McCaffrey can play, I think they're going to be okay. Um,
Okay.
I have Tampa Bay, which was my team that if I was going to do a fourth team for Super Bowl bound, I think Tampa Bay is really good. Again, injury bug has already struck them, but when
Yeah.
they're healthy, I think they're ready. I love that they got Amika Abuka. I love that. I think he will be their best wide receiver this year as a rookie. He'll be better than Evans and
Oh
uh,
yeah.
Godwin. I
Oh
think
yeah.
better than both of them. And the third team, although I don't think they're going to be as good as they were the previous 2 years, they still pretty much got the same roster. And outside of the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, they still got the same head coach. Out of respect, I'm going to put Detroit there as
Okay.
playoff bound. So I got San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Detroit. I'm not sure that that's actually the order. I think healthy Tampa Bay is the best out of the three of them, but they're not healthy right now. So San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Detroit. Do you agree with those three in the NFC, or do you see it differently?
Um,
Or do you want to add another team
I
as a
want
fourth?
to add another team, but I got the Commanders. You
Okay.
said, you said the Commanders?
No, I don't have the command.
I got the Commanders in there. They did commit to the O line with on Tunsil. They got to get the McLaurin situation settled, which could affect them because him getting there late if they don't get the deal done with Debo and some weapons. I know defensively that's the liability is going to be the defense. So they're in that same boat with Cincinnati. Um, I got the Vikings. I got the Vikings. I know you had them tear up. Um, I got the Packers. I got the Packers. Packers is borderline, could be a Super Bowl contender too. But it's the defensive side of the game with them. And it was a lot of dropsies last year with them receivers. So they got to get that sold up. And Jordan and Love got to put up a full season, not a good half. He didn't give me good halves, not a whole season. If he could put up a whole season, yeah. With that offense booming, Josh Jacobs in the backfield, yeah, they could get it going. And I got the Falcons, surprise team. I got the Falcons. With that offense, with a quarterback to get to them weapons. Now, the question mark, and I see all the one, and this once again, why are Super Bowl contenders Super Bowl contenders? Because they're balanced. They got a defense and an offense. Why the guys that are on the cups of a Super Bowl, not a Super Bowl contender yet? It's because they're lacking on one side of the coin. Mine is Denver. Okay. The Falcons, it's the defense. We know it's going to be the pass rush. Can they bring pressure? Can they bring pressure, bro? On the back end, I think they're decent. It's the front line, is the question mark. And if you got Bijan Robinson, all them weapons out there, I think that Michael Penix with the keys, just like JJ McCarthy, got the keys. They're going to play offensive. That's going to be explosive. I could put the Falcons in there, man. I think they're going to contend with that division between them and Tampa Bay, but I'm going to put the Falcons.
Okay, you got the Falcons.
I like the Falcons.
Next category is all right, so playoff is surprise overachiever. These
Okay.
are teams that recently, maybe last year, weren't great. They were okay, losing record, but now this year they're going to make a push to make the playoffs. Maybe just come up short, but they're going to be on the cusp.
Okay.
They're not going to be what they were recently. Um, so my AFC teams, I'm really feeling New England. I like the roster moves. I like the head coach. I like the draft. Um, Jacksonville with the new head coach and the new coaching. Listen, at some point we're going to get into this. At some point we got to stop making excuses for Trevor Lawrence.
Mm.
He's got to, either be the guy or not be the guy. And again, I think Las Vegas Raiders with Pete Carroll, and Genti. I don't think it's going to be a complicated offense. I think it's going to be, we're going to run the ball until you can stop us, and then when you stop us, we're going to throw it. It's going to be real simple, and I'm going to build up my defense because I'm a defensive guy. Pete Carroll is the oldest head coach in the league, but he still brings a lot of energy. He's one of the more energetic guys, even in his 70s. So I have New England, Jacksonville, Las Vegas Raiders as my 3 AFC teams. What say you?
I'm in agreement with New England. For you. The Jags, I'm on the fence with the Jaguars because it's going to come down to the quarter, but I think it's going to be a better year for them. So I put the Jags in there. And those are only 2 teams I really got. Is Jags and
you're doing a 2-team tier, man.
No, man, I can't squeeze the other ones in. I got New England and Jags.
All right. And in the NFC, I have my Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Arizona Cardinals, and I have your Dallas Cowboys. Now, listen, with the Bears, they only won 5 games last year, but that 5th win was at Lambeau. So if you're going to get, you're going to leave a season on a high note, that's a high note for the Bears. I saw a lot of good with Caleb. The problem with people with Caleb was he was the number 1 pick. He replaced Justin Fields, who was a fan favorite, and the Bears were only going to take Caleb Williams. They didn't even try and bring in any other quarterback, and there were a lot of good ones in last year's draft, including Daniels from Washington, and he had the better year. Obviously, he had the better year. He may turn out to be the better player, but he definitely had the better rookie year. So people look at that and hold that against Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, on the surface, as a rookie, had a good year. He threw for over 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's a good year. But people had such high expectations. Generational talent. Look at all these wide receivers they brought in. Nobody really paid attention to the fact that the coaching staff sucked.
It was terrible.
And they fired the offensive coordinator before halfway into the season, Shane Waldron. And then right after the Thanksgiving game, they fired their head coach, which is something Chicago's never done. Never. Offensive line has been caca for I can't even tell you how long. What do they do this offseason? They free agency, best available center, they bring him in. Make a trade for a guard that played under Ben Johnson in Detroit, and they bring in a future Hall of Famer, all-pro Joe Tooney at the other guard position. The only stability the Bears had was at right tackle last year. They still have him. Okay, they're a little weak at left tackle. If you know you're weak in one spot, you know where to slide protection. You know where to chip. Okay, you know where to set up a play away from that one problem at left tackle. He's not terrible, but he's coming off of an injury. He's mediocre at best. At best, and I'm being nice. He's not bad, but he's mediocre. I think the Bears really upgraded. They got Dennis Allen as their new defensive coordinator. I think he's going to be great. The defense, I think, is going to be really good. They went from playing a passive zone defense to an aggressive man-to-man defense. So they're going to be bringing pressure and blitzing and stuff like that. Yeah, I think they can get a little more pressure from their defensive ends than what they have. But with the blitzes and bringing in Grady Jarrett at defensive tackle, they've upgraded their defensive line from last year. Maybe it's not as good as we want it to be, but it's an upgrade. Their secondary is the strength of the team when healthy. Right now, they're So I think the Bears will make a jump. They're going to do 12 personnel. They drafted a tight end in the first round. They drafted a wide receiver in the second round. They got weapons. They still got
Yeah,
Rome. I think Rome is going to have a very good second year. He may turn out to be like their number one option on offense, running and passing. I think he's going to be that good. They still got DJ Moore. They got players, man. And I
there you
think
go.
I'll get into fantasy in a little bit, but I think Caleb might be like a quarterback two to really look for, like a backup quarterback, because I think I'm going to say right now, I think he breaks the 4,000 yards. I
Mm.
think he breaks the right. I don't know about touchdowns. I'm not saying he's going to throw for over 30 touchdowns, but I think he's going to go over 4,000 yards. If he did 3,500 last year, I think he's going to do
For sure.
4,000 plus
Sure.
this year with this O line and this head coach with his play calling and play design. I think they're going to do it. So I got Chicago, Arizona, Dallas. All you really need is a little bit of a running game, and your quarterback's got to stay healthy. That's it. That's it. And they will make a run for the playoffs. That's it. But the quarterback, recent years, has not stayed healthy. And you have been very mediocre running the ball last couple of years. You drafted a rookie. You brought in Williams from who played at Denver the last few years. So you've upgraded a little bit. You drafted a guard in the
Mhm.
first round. So maybe on paper, your offensive line will be better than it was last year. So running backs, improvement, offensive line improvement, healthy quarterback, and you traded for Pickens from Pittsburgh. I
Yeah,
think I think as long as Shoddy doesn't vomit all over himself and get in his own way, I think Dallas is going to be fine.
yeah.
Maybe Washington and the Eagles will be better, but that
Yep.
doesn't mean Dallas can't make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs. So Chicago, Arizona, Dallas. Those are my three teams. What do you got in the NFC? Give me more than two, please.
NFC, I got the Niners. They'll be better this
Okay.
year. I got the Cardinals. I think Jonathan Gannon has his defense that he wanted, which
Right.
is is all about the defense side. Actually, I think they're going to be really good. Offensively, they got some studs, some dogs. It's about Kyler Murray, man. It's going to go where Kyler Murray take them. Um, so but I think they're going to have a better year because it's been an upgrade ever since he's been here. They've been getting better and better. We haven't talked about it, but
Mhm.
they have increased in wins. I throw my Cowboys in there. I mean, last year was just a bad year. Now my question is changing the cultures because what Mike McCarthy, at least you knew what you was going to get. It's the question mark is shoddy. I don't know, what his coaching style is. Sometimes we get these coaches are kind of laid back
Mhm.
and don't demand excellence from the players. Sometimes that could work against you because now you're not holding nobody accountable. Okay. Um, so I got to see what kind of coaching style he's going to bring to Dallas. But I think once again, if Dak could stay upright, we'll have a better year. We'll have a better year. Um,
Well, two things. Number one, you first said culture. Culture is going to be the same. Jerry's there. Jerry sets the tone
uh,
for culture. For better or worse, he sets the tone for the culture. I understand the coaching style with Shoddy, but he is not going to overpower the puppet master himself. The
no,
only one that could change the culture and kind of was Parcells. That was the only one. Everybody else just fell in line.
yeah, that's true.
Just for everybody else was like what Aaron Boone is to the Yankees is what every other coach has been. Jason Garrett, all of them. It's been Jerry's world, and you're living in my world until you're not. And he sets the culture. And I definitely don't see Schottenheimer changing that. I don't see that one bit. Hopefully, he's a good coach. He's an offensive minded guy. He grew up in the NFL, obviously because of his father. Hopefully he doesn't coach like his father. Not that I was a fan of his father, but the game has evolved. Marty Ball does not work in 2025. It does not. So,
And
he's going to have to bring more. You did not mention my Bears. So did you
no,
consider?
I didn't get a chance to. I got to
Oh,
elaborate.
how many times I gave you? You named me three teams.
I got to elaborate on my Cowboys. And I never got to tell you the Bears. The Bears
All
was
right,
my
well, tell
last
me the
team.
Bears. I want to hear it.
Yeah, the Bears was my last team. I'm high on the Bears this year. I
So
think
you
that they
got
got
four?
the
You got four?
yeah, I
You
got
had two, you
four.
had two with the
Well,
AFC
I can't
because you
help the
couldn't come
fact
up
that
with a third.
I can't help the fact that two teams I see is able to be on that side. I'm sorry, I can't see it, but I can say four being better, and this is one of them. I believe that the Bears, man. Oh my goodness, man, y'all. And I know you last year. You like you said, you kind of settled it down. We're gonna settle down, right? This year, I think you need to bring it up because, like you just said, man, you have weapons. Okay, yes, there's a lot of verbiage. Yes, there's a lot of things. He's going to demand a lot of Caleb. That's what you want.
That's what
You
you
want him
want.
to be challenged. You want him to be challenged because
Yes.
it works.
You want to
This
get coached
system
up?
works.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, it might be difficult to get in the beginning, but man, the trajectory where y'all gonna be going, I always say you have to tear it up to build it up. Tear it down to build it up. That's where y'all at right now. I think y'all can see what y'all gonna do defensively. You know, like you said, it's gonna be a man. And like, what's the man? Y'all run man, don't y'all? The new defensive
This
scheme,
year.
man, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna put a lot on the
And
corners,
this
man up. Which y'all secondary is like y'all strength, honestly.
when healthy.
When healthy, right? Um, whew. The run game, I gotta see the run game. I gotta see the run game because you don't want to you don't want to be a one-dimensional offense, which underneath Ben Johnson, it really isn't. Like,
No, it's not.
that two-headed monster in Detroit, it was crazy. They're throwing so much at you. And then he invested into the trenches. Your boy did a good job, man. Your GM. I know you jump on him a lot, but he actually did his job this year. He didn't get no B-rated. He didn't get no B-rated, C-rated offensive lineman. He tried to save the buck.
Finally, yeah, I think the Ben Johnson hire is what got him the contract extension because under polls they won 3 games, 7 games, 5 games, and he got a contract extension.
Yeah, he's about to get neck checked.
Yeah, so the Ben Johnson thing was great, and Ben I trust. All right, now let's start to go to the negative.
Yes, sir.
Surprise underachieving teams. Okay, so these are teams that traditionally you would think would be in the playoffs or make a playoff run, but probably won't this year. I got AFC, I got Pittsburgh, I got Cincinnati, and I have Miami. Those are my 3 AFC teams. Now, I know you don't agree with Cincinnati, so we can skip that one. What do you think of Pittsburgh, Miami, and do you have another team you want to throw in there? AFC.
Yeah, I got Miami. I'm with you. I got the Steelers with you. And I got the Colts. I got the Colts. Why? Because they've been a 500 team for the last couple of years in New Steichen, right? And you have weapons. You have weapons there. You have all right defense. But it's the quarterback play, man. It's the quarterback play. And in that division, which is not really a strong division, y'all dudes keep bottling him out. He's going to be on the hot seat. He's officially made Daniel Jones the starting quarterback, unless he's a quarterback
for the season. He said for the season.
Right. So you then gave up on this project of Anthony Richardson, which is a terrible decision. And then you said Daniel Jones is going to be the savior for your job and your season. The bowl couldn't do it unless, like I said, you are the whisperer. I just don't see it, man. Daniel Jones is what he is, man. You know how they rolled Mitch Trubisky when y'all drafted Mitch Trubisky, and y'all said it was a terrible pick. He's just not that guy. Daniel Jones is the same equivalent. He's not that guy, man. He's not.
I agree with that. I think he's like a good backup quarterback that can spot start for you and has all the traits you look for, but ultimately you you're like, this guy, he ain't it.
Did he not lead the league in turnovers that 1 year?
That 1 year, yeah.
Yeah, so he's definitely a turnover prone guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he's not, that he does cough the pill up to the other team. And you bring him into this offense that you want to be a high-powered offense, which is going to mean you're going to take a lot of risk, right? Which is he's going to put that ball up there. It's going to get ate up by the other side. And this is the guy you're willing to pitch your coaching career on. I'd rather go with the project, man. I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson, who has more of an upside. And yes, it's the small throws was the problem with this guy. But the other side is he's explosive. And either which way, I think you're doing either which way you look at it. But I would rather go with the project and that we said was a project and not give up on the project. And you bring Daniel Jones in as, okay, if this does not go well, I got to back up, not the starter.
I think the problem is the head coach and the GM might be feeling the pressure. They might be feeling some heat. There's new ownership now that Irsay died, so his daughters inherited the team. So there's no equity there, like there was with the owner previous. So I think they're thinking we got to win now. We have a bad season, that we could get axed. All right, I'm going to keep it rolling. The NFC teams, not that I'm rooting against them. I have a big fan of this team that's a friend of mine, close friend. Washington, Green Bay, and Atlanta. Whoa. Now, you might agree with the Green Bay one a little bit, but Washington, I think this McLaurin thing is a distraction. Distraction's never good. And by the way, I agree with McLaurin holding out or the hold in, whatever he's doing. I agree with it. And I don't want to hear this, oh, he just got a contract extension 2 years ago. The wide receiver wage scale has ballooned. He ballooned. He's making like $23 million a year. Now they're going over 30. It's ballooned. He's outplayed the contract. And you signed the contract. If it was me, my job, first of all, don't compare yourself to superior athletes. They are special. If you were special, you'd be doing it, but you're not. You're part of the other 99% of us, like me, like Larry, like everybody else. Mm-hmm. Don't compare yourself to them. And if you notice, it's always football players that hold out because they're the ones without the guaranteed contracts. They're the ones that look for a long-term deal so they can get that signing bonus because, management, they can sign you to a contract and then next year they can come at you with the R words like, we need you to restructure your contract because of salary cap, which has nothing to do with you. And we need you to reduce your pay scale. And if you don't do it, then we are going to release you. Okay. So they're not really asking. And this happens every team, every year, a bunch of players. So don't tell me, oh, he's got to be faithful. No, he doesn't. He's got to look out for him. He's 30 years old. He's coming off of his best year. He had made other good years in the past when they didn't have a quarterback and they had that bad ownership. So, but Washington, I don't love their defense. They did invest in their offensive line, but now, they're talking about trading away Robinson, their, number one running back. Yeah. Green Bay, the quarterback is constantly getting injured. I think he's under pressure because he got paid last year. And Atlanta, I got to see it with Atlanta. I got to see it. I like their offseason, but I got to see it. And I still think healthy Tampa's better. So I'm going Washington, Green Bay, Atlanta. Who are your teams?
I got Seahawks. I'm going to see if Sam Darnold's that guy or he just won himself a great check. They got the pieces out there. They got some pieces out there. But I'm questioning the quarterback in that system. I think he's a system guy, or I think this McConnell was just a great coach and got the best out of him. Yes, they've been trashed for the last couple of years, but expectations is for the Bryce Young project to be better this year, and they're supposed to be better. And then we got Ted McMillan out of Arizona, right? And they're supposed to, you got the weapons and I don't think it's going to happen, my man. I hope Bryce Young does extend and build on that second half of the season he had last year. I hope that Carolina is one of them scrappy teams that you got to worry about. But I just don't see the Panthers as having a better year. It might be the same year, which is going to bring a lot of pressure on that coach and Bryce Young. So that's my only two teams I see I got down there is the
Okay.
Seahawks and the Panthers.
All right. And good, because it's different than my team. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And the three teams that I have that are teams that will just disappoint because they always disappoint.
Trash.
I got Indy in there. I am not feeling
Okay.
Indy this year. I got Tennessee.
Yeah.
Maybe Ward has a decent rookie year, but I don't think he has much of a team around him. I'm not in love with the head coach. And of course, and right now I have this as the worst team in the league right now, the New Orleans Saints.
I'm
So
with you.
Indy, Tennessee, New Orleans.
I got Titans. I'm agreeing with you that they just don't have the pieces for Cam. I thought last year they actually were competitive in a lot of games, but Will Levy or Levis was a bum, certified bum. Yeah. The Saints are going to be just man. If they surprise us, it'd be surprising. Spencer Rattler's going to win the job out. Okay. Whew. Kellen Moore. Whew. It's gonna be rough. And I got the Giants, man. I got the Giants. I think defensively, they are going to be better. They're going to be defensively better. My question is, one, they're going to push for a dart to get on that field. Um, Russell Wilson now moonball. It's the old line, bro. That old line's not good. I don't care who the quarterback is behind there. That old line isn't really that good. So I don't see the job and the bowl like job might be on the line, man, this year. I don't know because he might get a pass because of Jackson Dart. Depends how he manages that situation because he'll be crying for that rookie getting there, which I believe you got two veterans. Let him sit, let him digest, let him kind of, because it's not preseason. It's
Right.
not preseason.
Okay. So that was our tiers. We got about 9 minutes to go through this next segment. Okay. So let's keep an eye on the clock. Player spotlight. Now, this is going to be players and coaches. You'll have to excuse me, audience. I still don't have my new glasses, so it's very hard for me to see, even though I wrote down stuff pretty big and there's good lighting here, but I do not have great eyesight, so my head will be down a little bit. Okay. Basically, questions. Can Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen get over the hump? Yes or no?
Whew. Lamar, yes. Josh, no.
Okay. I'm in agreement with that because I think Baltimore's the team this year.
Yeah.
Is Caleb Williams under the most pressure in his own division? And if not, who?
No, he's not. I'm going to say Jordan Love.
Yes, I agree. Yes, because Jordan Love got the contract.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, next question. Will Shedeur Sanders be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns at some point this year?
If he's on that roster, yes.
Well, he's going to make the team. He's going to make the team.
Joe Flacco, Gillen Gabriel. Because Gillen Gabriel ain't that bad. He wasn't that terrible.
Also, Pickett. Pickett's in there.
He's a bum. He's a bum. Shedeur gonna get. Shedeur will eventually get to play this year.
A shot. I agree. I think he's going to get a shot, and I think he's going to get a shot before the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Has the Pittsburgh Steelers way gone too far? Meaning, is it passe? The Steelers way? Is that like with the dinosaurs?
What are we talking about? We talking about like just to make the playoffs? Are we talking about a 10 for a bowl? What are we talking
the way they construct the organization, like, the Tomlin.
Yeah.
Tomlin is the tone setter. Do they need a different start? Do they need to get an offensive guy in there? Should Tomlin be on the hot seat? That kind of thing. Is the Pittsburgh way a thing of the past?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Yes. I also I thought they were 2 years ago
Yes,
a
sir.
thing of the past. Is Matthew Stafford's back a real problem for the Rams? Or is this one of those things where they're just being precautionary? He's going to be fine start of the year.
Yeah, he'd be good. He'd be start of the year. He'll be good by start of the year. I think they don't want to put him out there on that, and I don't think they want to put him out there. I think they want to get him prime and ready for the season. No different than what Pittsburgh is doing with Aaron Rodgers, not putting him out there. They're older, man, so you don't want them to take unnecessary risks that they don't have to. But them holding out and not getting the reps in practice is a concern to me. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Yes or no? No, I don't know. Yes or no? Concern, not a concern.
No.
Not a concern. I'm a little bit concerned because if he's good to go, I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. We talked about this earlier, but I don't like the fact he has no rapport with Devontae Adams yet, and the season is 3 weeks away. So I'm a little concerned. So I'm going to say yes. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be great. Okay. Are we? How did I word this? Are the excuses over for Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Justin Herbert because for them being underwhelming? Are we done with the excuses? Is it now to hold their feet to the fire?
For sure.
Fields, Herbert, and Lawrence.
Well, Fields is his year. The make or break is his year to prove he's ready for this league. Straight up, this is the third team. Trevor Lawrence, you got to play up to them that contract. I'm sorry, you set the marker. You have not lived up to it. So Cohen coming over just to get you right. Yeah. And Justin Herbert, they brought Harbaugh, like he's been proven. So all three, yes, the excuses are definitely over.
I'm in agreement. I think, especially for Fields, because if he fails here, him having a chance of being a starter for the rest of his career could be over. What head coaches are under the most pressure to keep their job this year? Off the top of your head. You already mentioned one with the Colts.
Yeah, definitely Steichen. Steichen is definitely on the hot seat.
What about Dable?
I think Dable, by they drafting Dart, not so much. I actually think that what's called Callahan, if they don't get it going out there in Cincinnati, might be on the line.
No, Zach Taylor.
I'm sorry, Zach Taylor. I think Zach Taylor might be underneath a little pressure because they're going to be like, which isn't his fault because they all didn't commit to the defensive side. They're not utilizing Joe Burrow in his prime.
What do you think? What do you think about Tennessee? Or you give them another year?
I give them another year. Yeah, okay. Unless that team it's like the team just quit mid-season and just get away from them, then they're going to want to coach a change. But if they could go through the progression with a rookie quarterback and all the struggles is going to come with him, and they could see that he's improving or getting acclimated to the game, I think he'll get another year. You know how Bryce Young had to come on and yeah, I think it's going to be one of them things. But if he's out there and they're struggle bus and it's bad, he won't make it throughout the year.
Okay, last one. What are some of the standout rookies that you're looking forward to seeing this year? For me, Travis Hunter, Benty, Colston Loveland, Amika Ibuka, Marion Hampton, Jackson Dart.
If he gets built, yeah.
Trevion Henderson. Who else do I have? Mike Green and Cam Satabu. Those are the ones that I'm looking forward to this year. Did I miss anybody that you want?
Abdul Carter.
Who's that?
Abdul Carter in New York.
Oh, okay.
I want to see him bring that pressure. I want to see because if he's anything like Mike, he's going to be exciting. Even though they play two different positions, but I think he'll be exciting.
Awesome. All right, and our last thing is going to be the top 7 rules for fantasy
Yes,
football
sir.
as your guide to the draft. These are my own personal, and I feel very strong about this. I got 7 of them. My draft is on Saturday. Your draft in your league is on
Yes.
Saturday. So,
And I'm a student right now.
buddy, this is
I'm a
this is usually
student.
the weekend that everybody does it. Okay. Number 1, draft running back early and often. Running backs have the least amount of depth for very high quality. You go from A to B quickly, you go from B to C quickly, and after C, it's just any old guy. You don't want to be weak. You want to be strong at every position, not great here, but mediocre here. You don't want to do that. You want to be consistent. Running back early, often. First round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. You could get 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds. That is not a wrong way to think at all. That is my number 1 rule. Number 2, in a PPR league, that means points per reception. In a PPR league, pass catching running backs are gold, because they can catch a ball and it could be negative yards. You still get a point. Where in a regular standard league, you only get a point every 10 yards you go.
Who would you pick in that category?
You got to think about pass catching guys. Gibbs,
Okay.
Barkley, Chase Brown in Cincinnati, guys
Okay.
like that. Guys that are going to be targeted like 5 times a game, plus get the ball handed off to them 15 to 20 times.
Okay.
Gold pass catching running backs. Number
3.
When drafting a running back. Hold on. Okay, number 3. When drafting a quarterback, try either to get his number 1 receiver or his number 1 running back with him. It's called a handcuff. So you're almost guaranteed that you're going to get double points when points from one of them, or double points when they score, because quarterback to running back or number 1 wide receiver. So if you get like a Burrow, maybe you can get Chase, or maybe you can get Brown. Now Chase is definitely going to go in the first round, so you got to be thinking like that, or Josh Allen and Cook.
Okay.
Josh Allen second round, come back around with the snake and get Cook in the third round. You try and think like that, doubling up, handcuff teammates.
Gotcha.
Okay. Number 4, don't wait long on a preferred defense. If there's a defense you want for your team, you can't wait till like the 10th, 11th round. You might have to go 6th, 7th round to guarantee him, because if you get the defense you want and he turns out, that's going to be like 20 points, 15, 20 points a week. That's as good as, outside of a top-notch quarterback, that's as good as any of your premier wide receivers or running backs or tight ends. So don't wait long on a defense if you've got one in mind.
Okay.
Number 5, wide receiver with the most depth, so you can wait. So what I'm saying is, okay, maybe you want a wide receiver in the first round. You want one of those special guys maybe, but you can wait. Get running backs and tight ends before you start to build up on those wide receivers, because there's a lot of good ones. So wait on the wide receiver. There's a lot of depth. Number 6, if possible, draft your starting running backs backup. Running backs get hurt often. They get hurt more than a wide receiver in every other position. So if in the later round you can get your starting running backs backup,
okay,
and your starter gets hurt, you can just slide the backup right in, because he's going to get the bulk of the carries. So think about a backup or 2 for the starter. And my number 7 rule is pay close attention to the bye weeks. When you're drafting teams, don't draft too many guys that are off week 5 and stuff like that, because it'll catch up with you. It'll be terrible to draft a starter that's off week 3. You got a backup for him. He's also week 3, and now you got to go to the waiver wire because your starter and backup are out. You got to pay attention to the bye weeks. And when you're drafting, it helps, because if you're like, I don't know if I want this guy or this guy, look at the bye week. That'll help. Oh, you know what? I got somebody else that's off during this bye week. So I'll go with the other guy. Pay attention to the bye weeks. And that is my 7 rules for fantasy football. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. We will catch you in 2 weeks for week number 1 to kick off the NFL. Please have a great fantasy weekend. Larry, any questions? Are you all good?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. And I'm be calling you. Already know I'm going to call you prior to my picks because I definitely am going to tap in because this is going to be my year, bro. It's my year.
It's going to be our year.
You
It's
ain't
going
lying
to
about
be
that.
our year. You know it. You know it.
Know it.
For my main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gilio Irizarry. We will catch you in 2 weeks to get ready for week number 1 to kick off the 2025 NFL season. Until then, deuces, y'all.
Peace.